After seeing the new 2018 Indian Scout Bobber on Friday, I called editor Duke to brief him on the new model. After explaining that it was, mechanically, very similar to the original Scout with mostly cosmetic changes, he asked me a simple but important question. Well, would you rather buy this one or the old one? The answer was easy. I would definitely rather have this new Scout Bobber. Things can sometimes change after an actual road test, so I put my initial thoughts into the back of my mind and looked forward to the debut ride the following day. Indian made a conscious decision to launch the bike concurrently with X Games due to the extreme sport audience being a target demographic for this model. Also invited to the media launch was freestyle motocrosser Harry Hart, who spent the weekend riding with us, adding to the vibe. Stunt rider Aaron Colton unveiled the bike to the world in grand fashion by sliding the bobber out onto the stage and shredding some rubber at the Indian hometown throwdown party Friday evening. Colton also joined us for the press ride on Saturday. Indian's target customer for the Scout Bobber is the younger, hipper, wannabe Angie type that sometimes prefers style over practicality. And before you light up the comment thread below, that's okay sometimes. Every bike doesn't have to be practical, something more visceral can be desired. Someone once told me, if you don't turn around at least once to look at your bike after you park it, just to look at it, maybe it's not the right bike. I agree with this sentiment 110%. A motorcycle should make you want to just admire it for the particular qualities that make it special to you. The great thing about this is that it is subjective. There are no wrong answers, there are no wrong bikes. The new Scout pulls its existence from these very ideas. It's not a ridiculously rigged out chopper or a hardtail bobber that will compact your spine just by running over a manhole cover. But it is, in some regard, form over function. I enjoy the new position of the foot pegs, which is 1.5 inches back from the original Scout. The position is conducive to riding out town, but after a bit of highway riding, I wasn't the only one resting my heels on top of the foot pegs to stretch my legs. Another caveat to the new peg location is it comes at the cost of 2 degrees of cornering clearance, which was evident during the peg scrapes while flipping back and forth through roundabouts. Some of the guys on the ride whined about the seat at our next stop after about 50 miles. But I didn't have any issues. I wanted to stretch my back and enjoy my coffee, but I was still looking forward to jumping back on the bike for more time in its two-toned saddle. An extra inch or two of leg length from my 30-inch inseam would have better locked me into the seat. I did have times where I felt myself sliding back after having choked up in the seat for one reason or another. The seat height, at 25.6 inches, will put most riders flat-footed, which will help newbie feel more comfortable with the 554-pound curb weight. The bobber's thicker saddle raises ride height ever so slightly. Weight is down by 5 pounds from small changes, most obviously from the shorter fenders. First off, let's be clear about the bobber's intention. This isn't a touring or adventure bike, so it doesn't need cushy, electronic, dynamically damped suspension. On the roads around Minneapolis with my geared-up weight of about 165 pounds, I was pleasantly surprised by the suspension's performance. It was only over sharp bumps, like train tracks at speed, when objectionable harshness was felt. The majority of riding, in the city or out on the highway, the 2 inches of travel in the rear was sufficient. The new cartridge-style fork up front also did a great job of keeping things compliant in the twistier stuff, and front-end nine-wall braking was nearly non-existent. Toward the end of the day, most of the guys were ready to call it and head for beers at Minneapolis Indeed Brewery, which was where our ride would finish. A few of us decided we wanted to go out and grab a few photos before handing back our keys. While the Indian Scout Bobber might not be the FTR 750-inspired street tracker many had hoped for, it is a blast to ride. You to ride it hard and put it away wet. The Bobber does exactly what Indian planned for it to do. It looks badass. It makes you feel badass and it makes you want to do badass shit.